Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My personal connection to the Ukrainian crisis. So, this shit ain't good for me. Not in the slightest. One of the biggest ways I make money is working with and subcontracting talented artists from around the world. Many of you may not be aware of this, but there has been a wealth of talented artists coming out of Ukraine and Russia over the past decade. Very talented artists that I've been working with for years. Today PayPal chose to cease services to Russia, meaning that the artist working under me can no longer get paid. This is a huge blow to me personally, as many of my go-to artistic collaborators are in that part of the world. I mostly use PayPal for most of my transactions. I have separate ones for separate aspects of my business. Obviously this is not good for me. But it is even worse for my contemporaries overseas. I'm not sure what can be done about it either. Putin doesn't give a shit about the rank and file in Russia. He doesn't care who he hurts as long as he gets what he wants. This move hurts Russia the country, but not the Russian leadership. So I'm not sure. I don't think a tyrant gives a duck about the well-being of the people. They're not going to revolt or anything. The stranglehold the leadership has on the country, their ability to quiet dissenters is too strong. I am not sure what can be done, but I know this isn't going to work. Beyond anything, I don't want America to go to war. I really don't. I'm afraid of what that might mean. But I've had to follow this situation closely, as I've lost contact with at least 6 of my peers in the Ukraine already, and now my Russian contemporaries are unable to be paid for their work. I'm not sure what there is to be done. It really sucks. Okay, then use crypto. You have to get everyone on board and get them to use the same crypto. That's several artists from several different countries. I've suggested it, but you'll find not everyone is quick to adopt it. Just use used $1 equals $1. Just tell them to open an account on KuCoin, send you their TRC20 addresses, and that's it. Online Journal Day 391. In poor taste and little tact, this one's gonna be brief, or rather brief for me. I've been in some shit lately and things have been negative and a lot has been drama. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't think like I'd be happy or in a good mood for a bit. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't think anything was going to cheer me up. I most certainly didn't think my wife would be the source. I'll be honest, we're doing a lot better, but I still feel some kind of way about a few things. But that's not why I thought that she wouldn't be what brought me out of my little funk. It's because she's the type of person who always needs to be told what to do. Waiting for you to ask her what you need to help. She lacks initiative when it comes to consoling me or making me feel better, or doing anything outside the norm. So when I woke up today and she was dressed like Ducking Eula from Genshin Impact, I was super surprised. Getting her to cosplay anything in the past has been like pulling teeth. There was this whole thing about it last year, cause she was worried she wouldn't look as good next to my cousin. So, I wasn't really expecting this. Or it to be Genshin Impact. She said she got the idea months ago cause I was raving about the character and whenever I'm playing I'm using her, so she wanted to dress up as my waifu. I didn't have the heart to tell her that Shenhe is my Genshin waifu, but Eula is more effective as primary DPS. Either way, I'd have been an idiot to complain. I took a lot of pictures. None I can share with Reddit, but definitely sent them to my artist and cosplay enthusiast friends. Of course nothing naughty. Not that I don't love you guys, but there's some super sleuths on this website. Someone found out who I was IRL through the description of my car and my talk about my artwork. So I'm gonna be a little more careful about that shit. Luckily that person was pretty chill. Since she's lost more weight, she's looked great. Though she's definitely starting to show from the pregnancy. Outfits still fit her as well. Though she said the wig she bought for it was trash, so she just styled her hair. So So she looked like an auburn-haired Eula, with freckles, and glasses. She's got her hair styled and cut that way. It looks very nice. I imagine Paris and others had a hand in this. Nothing looks cheap. I didn't ask her how much it cost cause I didn't want to know. But I imagine there was no way this cost less than $400. It was more like 6, and she said she bought 2 of them and that she could adjust the size if she lost more weight. I asked her why she got 2 and she smiled. So, not to be gross, but I spent the better part of the day ducking my wife. I didn't ruin her new outfit, but it's lucky she has 2. So, on cloud 9, and she's just prancing around the house in that outfit today. I haven't been able to get the shit-eating grin off my face. I can't exactly call up my friends or anyone and tell them this. I know it's weird, but hey, I'd be surprised if I'm the only person who wants to say, oh hell yeah, had amazing sex with my wife in this sexy outfit. But can't, because all of your friends would be like, why are you telling me? Well, I can tell Reddit and this can make it to the void. It's also why this is in a journal and I never post stuff like that in like an actual page, cause no one really reads my personal journals. I got watchers, but no one actually gives a shit about this. If I posted it anywhere else there would be a much higher chance that someone came across it. Either way, I wanted to share this with you all cause I'm ducking happy right now. And I am so surprised. And I'm definitely going to push for a Shenhe outfit. To be perfectly honest, cosplay sex is something I've wanted to do for years, ducking years, we this many years into this relationship and this is the first time. Man. But I won't complain. I'm just ducking happy. I'm not leaving the house today, the day can only go downhill from here. There is always Mimi. Keep your eyes up. Always look disorders to your posts. BTW. Any chance you are going to STCC? Unfortunately not this year. I had a choice between 2 things and I was paid quite a bit to show up for the furries, so I will be at AC this year. And with Mimi I wouldn't want to open that can of worms. I think our playing with Mimi days ended long ago. Besides, she's getting married to Buff Doug. Do you as you always have. You deserve to have that smile on your face after all that's been going on. I will finally be going back. P.S. Your family reminds me of the drama mine can cook up. Both love, hate, and miss it and them at times, smiley face, glutton for punishment. I am so pleased she is going even further for your approval. I bet she was surprised that she hit the magic key to your heart so well. Congratulations. From a fellow enthusiast that has always wanted to but hasn't yet. Congrats. I'm not leaving the house today, the day can only go downhill from here. Well, I hope you're totally right on the first part and totally wrong on the last part. There's some super sleuths on this website. Someone found out who I was IRL through the description of my car and my talk about my artwork. Hire that guy as a buy. Well, that escalated. Petty revenge against entitled cousins part 2 TL. Petty revenge has led to unforeseen consequences. Cousin's refusal to send son to therapy brings unwanted attention to his home and parenting. Now he's in jail for child abuse and assault, among other things. The recap. I wrote a post a few days ago about my entitled cousin. The short and dirty is he is a homophobic bully, who along with his father brutalized me and his gay brother during our childhood. He is a terrible father and person who has raised his kids to be the same way. Because his kids are following in his footsteps, I stopped getting them fancy or well thought out gifts. They bully his brother's kids for having gay parents, and are mean to others. About a month back drama started when I bought some nice gifts for my other niece and nephew whose birthdays are on or around my hated cousin Laron's middle son's birthday. I instructed the parents not to open these gifts at the shared party, since they always do that cause their birthdays around the same day, but this didn't happen and it started a shitstorm that ended in people demanding I give my entitled cousin $500, or the equivalent of what I paid for the other kids' gifts. Knowing he would only spend the money on himself and not believing I owed him anything, I was just going to ignore him and his flying monkeys. But when his brother pointed out that his kids would need therapy, like we did, I got the cheeky idea to pay for that, knowing my cousin's views on therapy. I knew full well he would not allow his child to go, despite it being good for him, and without the excuse of not being able to afford it, the family would rip him apart for not allowing his son to go. I thought it would be funny to turn all those flying monkeys back on him. I had no idea things would escalate like they have. So where do I even begin? Well, apparently I opened up a bigger can of worms than I imagined. It turns out that the kids are all already supposed to be in therapy. Some kind of legally mandated counseling. Counseling they have not been getting. I'm not sure the details yet, of the legal stuff, but here's the gist. Youngest got kicked out of school for stabbing someone with a pencil. Though I think she was justified given there was some kind of sexual assault element to that. The middle kid Devin, as I said before, is just violent and get in fights, and the eldest is surprisingly well adjusted, though I credit his mother's influence to that. But he's apparently been getting fist fights with his dad. The first thing I must admit is that I don't have much of a relationship with the 17-year-old, Laron Jr. I call him LJ. The reason I do not have any relationship with him is mostly his father and the fact that he doesn't much interact with me. In fact, he is actually pretty introverted and actively avoided us for years. Though I get why now. Speaking with him recently, I was told in no uncertain terms that he's been distant with me and Emil on purpose, since he was little. He said he appreciated us, but because his father would mistreat him when he was little for wanting to spend time at my parents' place or accepting gifts from Emil, he stopped. LJ distanced himself from not just us, but his cousins, as well. He said he once told Aunt Pam and Uncle Mac about it and they went and told his father, which got him beat, so he just withdrew from everyone. I told him he should have come to me or Emil and he asked what we were going to do. I asked if he had told his mom, and he said numerous times, that's why he mostly stays with her. But is forcing him to have some kind of relationship with his dad, who he sees every other week. I been gone, so I didn't know that about the living arrangement. LJ's a teenager, so I thought his behavior was just typical teenager stuff. But I'll admit it been a long time since I actually had a real conversation with him. To be honest, I always thought he was an aloof asshole, but I guess I was wrong. I felt bad about that, but he says it's not my fault. That's exactly what he wanted people to think, so they would leave him alone. We couldn't help him. Only make his situation worse. Me not wanting to keep trying to be in his life was kind of his goal. I also learned that I misjudged at least one of the mothers. Youngest ones. When I met Latoya, I thought she was the most ratchet piece of hood rat trash on the planet. And she kind of was. She was younger. Fast. Had an attitude. One of those people who gossiped, got into drama, and didn't do crap to better herself. Got arrested for keying her ex's car while dating Laron cause she was still angry about some shit he did when they were together. She was incredibly rude and ghetto, and very much deliberately aggressive with folks. In the interim years she's apparently grown up a bit. She's been fighting for full custody of her kid, she has joint. And that after the pencil incident there was some kind of mandate counseling. It was pretty vague, that Laron was supposed to have the kid in that turned into a request to see a child therapist. Apparently the mothers, even Devon's ratchet-ass mother, had been sending Laron money for this purpose and he was lying, and having the kids lie to their mother that they had been going. He even got someone to sign fake documents, or so I'm told. I am not sure how that can even be possible. Doesn't someone check on that? Like, isn't there an entire system in place to keep that from happening? Like, don't the school call or some kind of officer of the court? How can you fake that without anyone catching you? Apparently news got back to the mothers that Laron was refusing to take the kid to paid for therapy sessions, which set off her spidey sense. She started asking why I even needed to pay for a therapy session. She started asking different family members uncomfortable questions, and we find out that some of the family have been helping LaRon lie about some things and cover up others. Mostly the usual suspects, but surprisingly one of my cousins, Alicia, who should know better. The mothers have gotten together and confronted LaRon about it, which led to a physical altercation between them and Kimberly. LJ stepped in to protect his mother and LaRon punched him hard enough to dislocate his jaw. Ratchet-ass Kimberly pulled a knife on them and the police were called. I don't know what happened, but that was the wrong thing to happen. Apparently Kimberly and LaRon have been using. No one knows what, or no one will tell me. But it wasn't weed. There was drugs and drug paraphernalia in the house. There was a check on the kids, a police statement and all kinds of stuff I've not been privy to, but the short and dirty is both Kim and LaRon got arrested. The charges I know about are child abuse, assault with a deadly weapon, reckless endangerment, drug possession with the intent to sell, and a whole host of other crap that got too long to remember. The youngest, his daughter, Amberlynn, is now with her mom, who is filing a restraining order and is going to sue for full custody. Devin's mom cannot take him and he's with Auntie Monica, and LJ is with his mom. Some of the family are putting the blame for this debacle at my feet. One of them even said that by buying the therapy I was getting them white folks in our business, which is hilarious cause Dr. Lubzi is black, but whatever. Folks is pissed at me because now the family is at each other's throats. There is a half that is just finding out the extent of LaRon's child abuse, neglect, and poor behavior with and in front of his kid who want him to rot. There is another half on that family first crap. The latter has decided I'm the sole person responsible and anyone defending me or not attacking me on Facebook is a traitor. They alternate between attacking me and trying to guilt me into helping his legal fees. Even some of the good ones, who think if we don't help the mothers we'll take LaRon's kids and they will never see them again. I was annoyed but ignoring a lot of the bullshit as I had many family members defending me too, but I went off when folks started disparaging my wife. The same crowd talking about getting those white folks in our business started getting on me, Uncle Brad, Rare, and Isaac cause we wanna be white, with our snow bunnies. This was started by of course CC and B-Bat, but started to get traction with some other folks and that became a real shit show with some people blocked outright. Isaac's wife went the duck off. She's like Dutch Irish or something and does not take shit from nobody. Now folks, admittedly only the stupid folks, are saying I've split the family in two. And it's funny that the little battle lines being drawn seem to be between the haves and the have-nots. LaRon is facing some serious charge, so is Kimberly. The kids are telling tales and it don't look good and I am being blamed for opening up this whole can of worms. I don't know if I can't take responsibility for this, but this is where my petty revenge went. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Things are volatile right now. I was hoping to give a positive update here. That family pressure put Devin in therapy and LaRon finally manned the duck up and did something for his kids instead of for his ego. I was wrong and now my family is at war. I'm not feeling good about it. But I haven't felt bad about it either. I have to ask if I'm so bitter that I'm indifferent to just how bad this can get. My only thought has been, maybe this will turn out better for the kids and I don't know if that's my own bias. Even some of the good ones, who think if we don't help the mothers we'll take LaRon's kids and they will never see them again. But, that sounds like a good thing. Those moms should take full custody of their kids and cut all contact with LaRon and his toxic extended family. This is a group of people who enable child abuse. They'll sweep the most terrible crimes under the carpet and blame the victims for speaking up. They should not be around kids at all, that is really unsafe behavior. These kids need to know that adults who tolerate and enable abuse are untrustworthy. Teaching the kids to cut off violent abusers and code of silence enablers is a desirable outcome. Good people who turn a blind eye to child abuse, bullying and cover-up crimes are not actually good people. Having DNA in common with an abuser is not a justification for letting a child be hurt. bad men need nothing more to compass their ends, than that good men should look on and do nothing. Never heard it said quite like that. With that said though, doesn't that mean I need to do something? You've done everything you need to. At this point any kid that comes to you knows they have a 6 open heart and ear available to them. Now, that's your place in this family. That's my place in my family, and it's not bad. Focus on who you can help. The kids. Show them what a man is supposed to look like. Be available to them, and their mothers if you're allowed. They are more important than all the adults with opinions. Shame on them for keeping their eyes closed. It means that you did the right thing and you saved those kids. You may have saved their lives. I'm sorry you and your family have to suffer for saving kids. You're an awesome person, and I think everyone on the internet backs you. Any reasonable adult is going to see the good in what you did. Anyone who doesn't understand may not be worth keeping in contact with. Good. I hope that those mothers take the children away from that toxic family. They say that blood is thicker than water, but right and wrong are thicker than blood. Those people are evil, and I hope that the mothers file restraining orders against them for enabling their evil sperm donor to abuse them. While you're at it, file a cease and desist order against them and tell them that if they so much as even look at you the wrong way, you'll sue them. Screw them all. There's a special place in hell for people who allow children to continue being abused and mistreated, and those people have earned one-way tickets back there. Oh, and they shouldn't bring race into this issue. That's a whole other can of worms that should not have been mentioned, much less used as an excuse to justify letting this continue. Family first. Your cousin's children are part of the family too, and these jerks apparently think it's a bad thing that children are not being abused anymore? Right. Where were these people when LaRon was doing this shit? I'm getting crap cause I live 100 miles away and have no right to meddle in their lives, but at the same time I'm supposed to be family when they need me. But where is family for his kids? I got a lot of mixed feelings right now, mostly anger. And I'm not sure if it's misplaced. Is it possible, as one of the charges was drugs with intent to distribute, that some of the family on his side was receiving drugs? I'm not sure. That's something that hasn't been clarified. The side of your family that is mad at you are probably pissed off at you for one. Ratting LaRon out about how he was an abusive father too. They could be jealous of your lifestyle 3. That is mad at you because what you did uncovered the abuse they were trying to cover up. I recommend that you get a restraining order on them if they keep acting like this towards you, and get cameras. It does seem to be a plausible theory that you can use. Ask them why they are so intent on defending your cousin and if they were getting drugs from him. You are saving those kids while some family members would rather have them be abusive, drug-addled, alcoholics. What is so wrong with some of your family members that they wouldn't want those kids to be productive members of society? I don't think it's misplaced. Child abusers and those that support them should make you angry. I would call out publicly all the families that have chosen to support an abuser over the children. Good family would have turned their backs on LaRon the very moment the abuse came to light. You need to get one thing straight: they don't need you, they need your money. All the family needs to keep together bullcrap is just a way of them trying to get hold of your funds. They don't give a crap about you apart from your money. Reading this hit horrendously close to home for me, every detail. Just know that the approach I took was to duck all the way off from my family, and most of the insanity took care of itself. Some made it to prison, others to other states, but most importantly myself and my resources made it out. Can't save everybody. Gotta look out for number one. I've always hated most of my dad's side of the family. They've been nothing but trouble for me. A lot of them, especially the ones from Pittsburgh and down south, are particularly ghetto and racist. Some of them are good, most of the ones that don't tend to associate much with them. But there's this real push from the older ones for everyone to get along and want the ones who have been successful to pay to smooth things over most times. I've already had issues with most of these people. But the ones on my side have always been rather good. I want to say not my monkeys, not my circus here. But my dad and mom are now furious with Laron and others who knew of his drug use and abuse. Particularly my father, who had apparently been giving money to my cousin Alicia for school but was using it to help Laron's kids. She's the kids' favorite and Laron and Emile's sister's best friend. She doesn't like Laron either, but kept some of the stuff a secret cause the sister, who I have forgotten what I named her for privacy, so I will just say Sarah, asked her to. Feels ducking stupid to me because Alicia went through crap like this with her stepmom, who was a user. She says she didn't know about the drugs, but I don't believe her. Sounds like she was doing what she was used to doing with her stepmom, being an enabler. You unintentionally did a truly wonderful thing. You are the hero. You set those children free from the abuse of your cousin. Junior had been abused and beaten for 17 years. Your cousin brought this all upon himself. It shall turn out better for the kids, never doubt that. Family members taking your cousin's side were perfectly fine with those children being mentally and physically abused. Think about that next time you doubt yourself. Yes. You inadvertently opened a Pandora's box, but what was contained in that box needed to be exposed to set those children free. Clapping hands, kudos, clapping hands, heart, keep us updated. Holy duck, I read your first story and was shocked and appalled, though I thought your petty revenge at the time was fitting, but how was anyone supposed to know how bad this was, until you did something? Whatever the duck you did, you got several children out of a shitty situation. Be proud of yourself for being petty. Wait, that's not the right message, but close enough. Hoping for a positive update? This is one. Sure, everything is flying around right now, but the authorities know what's up. The kids are going to get therapy, and the family members who will excuse horrid behavior because family have outed themselves. 6 months down the road this will be an I'm glad that worked out story. Holy $H1T. Didn't see that one coming. I have to agree with these commentors' sentiments. The family members blaming you are probably capable or guilty of the same type of child maltreatment. Put it back on them, ask them why they let it go on like this for so long. Did their own children suffer like this? Don't want to disparage your family, but Laron is just a skunk of the first order. There's no helping someone that's a lost cause. No one should be helping that Australian dollars hat with any legal fees either. If they continue to pressure you, inquire how much their contribution will be. You should not feel guilt or remorse how this played out. You should take pride in the fact you might have just saved those kids' lives. My hat's off to you, good sir. Adding those kids to my prayers too. Good luck. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I'm worried I acted without all the information. I was being petty and malicious. I didn't expect it to blow up like this. But there's no way I could have known all the shit Laron was in. But on the other hand, I never tried to know either. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.